Hey, Battle Bill here with another video, and today we're going to get back into some Premier Cup Go Battle League battles. Rank 10, it's in sight. It's at the tip of my fingers. I'm one good set away from getting to rank 10. So, for that reason, the next couple videos will most likely be focused specifically on Premier Cup Go Battle League content, and also I took a suggestion from some previous comments in other videos, and I'm going to speed up the clips because these next couple days until I get to rank 10, I'll most likely be using the same team, so I don't need to go over the same explanation after the same explanation. So I just want to talk about whatever the gameplay is because I do have some really exciting matches for you, especially the 5th match. But I did speed it up because I want you to still be able to enjoy the matches, and I'm really hyped to go through them with you guys. Now, if you have a set of Master League battles that you would like to submit for me, that would definitely change the schedule of my next few videos, and I have no problem shoutcasting it for you. So if you want me to shoutcast your battles, your Master League battles, Twitter DMs, slide in them, we'll chat there and we'll figure that out. But other than that, let's get into these battles. I'm excited to go through these with you guys. I'm so close to rank 10. Oh, also, before I forget, wait, did I say like, comment, subscribe? I don't remember. I always forget. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Now let's get into these battles. Alright, so this is like my second time doing sped up clips, so please bear with me in the commentating. Let's see how this goes. First match, we got a Garchomp on Togekiss lead. This is a pretty obvious matchup. Got to swap out right away. Garchomp has 0 play against Togekiss. I swap into my Snorlax, they match me with the Snorlax. And a bit of a mistake on their part was they should have left their Togekiss in a little bit longer just to charm away at my Snorlax, so that when their Snorlax came in, it would come in at such a health advantage that I'd have no chance of winning back switch advantage. But at this point, I'm running Body Slam and Earthquake on my Snorlax. I don't know what their Snorlax is running. I'm assuming it's going to be Body Slam and probably Superpower. I feel like I assume everybody else is running Superpower at this point. For some reason, I just feel the most comfortable with Earthquake. I like it for that Metagross matchup. Superpower deals that neutral damage, whereas Earthquake can get Metagross really low. It won't one-hit KO, but it does enough damage where you can Earthquake it and pretty much lick it down. So, at this point in the match, we're just exchanging some Body Slams. It does take a minute to get through these, even though it's a little bit sped up, but I'm going for my own Body Slam here. This will get their Snorlax close to the red. Not close enough. We see Impede-Tide, and I felt like they somehow caught up to me in energy, even though I was the Snorlax that came in first. So I'm starting to get a bit confused, because once I get here, I don't understand how they got to this charge move before me, and on top of it, it's a Superpower. So I was a little baffled on how that energy got the way it was. But because I was talking to you guys, I couldn't really rewatch to maybe double check to see what had happened there. But there was obviously no cheating going on. Either way, I get their shield. Now we're both at 1 shield apiece. I'm just hoping to potentially beat them to the next one. I know I really need switch advantage here, so I decided to double shield. And I'm going to throw my Body Slam and hope that they won't shield. They get an extra lick through there, so if they decide to shield this, there's no way I'm getting switch advantage. They'll just beat me to the next one. They don't shield it, and that's huge. So they bring in their Dragonite. Their Dragonite's going to be able to Dragon Breath me down. I could not swap because then I would have gotten the wrong Pokemon lined up so that my Garchomp would then be stuck against Togekiss. I definitely didn't want that. Either way, they're going for their charge move here. It's going to most likely be a Dragon Claw. They got to it pretty quickly. It does a solid chunk though, and I'm really just hoping to get to the Outrage and bait the Sand Tomb. So that's what I'm going to do here. The main reason why I want to bait the Sand Tomb is because I really want the Dragonite's defense lowered, but I also wanted that shield. If I wanted to just get the defense lower, then I would have went straight for it right away, but I wanted them to think an Outrage was coming through, and that's important here. So they're going to throw their charge move. This is going to be a Dragon Claw. Oh no, it ends up being a Hurricane. My bad, my mistake. I wanted to overfarm, and then they brought in their Togekiss, and I have enough health to essentially have 2 Meteor Mashes ready. I am 1 Bullet Punch off. That second overlay of color on the Meteor Mash looks full, but it's not. That one-hit KOs the Togekiss, and I get my Bullet Punch through, I get the extra Meteor Mash through, and I recover from a terrible lead. Switch advantage. Super key here. I take the first match. GG. Off to a good start. You'll notice currently my rating's sitting at 29.57, so starting off 1-0 is exciting, and I overcame a really poor lead. I get that same lead in the second match. The game just doesn't want me to get to rank 10. I really need a 5-0 here if I want this set to get me to rank 10. And It's not looking too likely. I swapped into Snorlax. They matched me this time throwing Dragonite. I charge up to what would be an Outrage to essentially try and bait out a shield. An Outrage won't take out the Dragonite, but it'll get it really low to potentially get me switch advantage back. Unfortunately, that bait didn't work. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm not shielding anything. Keeping my shields is my only chance of winning this. There's no way I can get switch advantage because Dragonite still outdoes Snorlax in this situation between the Dragon Breath damage against the Lick damage, and then their Dragon Claws do hurt. I want to say about the same as much as my Body Slams. That's really great English. I got all the words. Either way, I get to another Body Slam here, and this will force their shields. I think they overcharge because they want to farm down, which makes sense, and I'm hoping that maybe this can help me out. I don't really know. I think I decided to make a weird play here. Throw in Garchomp because I know the Togekiss is going to absolutely wall my Garchomp, so my only play is essentially to rely on my Metagross with 2 shields. So I let Garchomp eat that. I knew they overcharged. I didn't think they'd get to the second Dragon Claw that quickly. So unfortunately, I have to take this one in the face. I know it's definitely a Dragon Claw. I wanted to farm down, but they were smart enough to take their Dragonite out. I'm now going up against their Metagross, their Snorlax, and the goal here is to overfarm, get as many Meteor Mashes through as possible. I'm going to have to shield whatever charge move they throw, which will most likely be a Body Slam because that Lick damage is really adding up. Meteor Mash unfortunately does not do enough to even put the Snorlax in farm range, which is frustrating. They go for 1 Body Slam here. I'm hoping to get to the next Meteor Mash to force the shields because I know they overcharged. And if I try and farm down, they'll throw a Body Slam and then I'll be in a poor situation. I do get the shield, and they're going to be throwing their next charge move right here. This is definitely going to be another Body Slam because at this pace they'll get me to like 1 HP or practically take me out. And I'm hoping I can farm down. That's what I'm hoping for. Apparently they overcharged so much that they had another Body Slam ready, and if I wanted any chance to win this match, I needed to pull a swap there and catch that Body Slam on my Garchomp. But reading Licks, reading Dragon Breaths, reading those really short moves is close to impossible for me. Garchomp comes in, Togekiss charms it down, and that unfortunately ends up being GG for the second match. So far, I was able to overcome a poor lead in the first match, was not able to overcome a poor lead in the second match, and I'm just hoping to have a positive set so I can inch towards rank 10. This next match, I do have a positive lead, but I've been running into this Rhyperior team that consists of Dragonite and Togekiss, and if they immediately swap out into the Dragonite, I end up not being able to win that match because if I bring in Snorlax, I lose switch advantage, and Togekiss lands on Garchomp. If I bring in Metagross, then I could still lose switch advantage, and then even Snorlax lined up with Togekiss is in a positive situation. Luckily, they don't switch out. I was able to get a whole Outrage through. I'm letting their charge move come through here. Ends up being a superpower. Doesn't do enough to me to cause me any concern. Now they switch into the Dragonite, and I'm like, this is really looking like that team that I'm seeing over and over again. But I'm happy because now the Rhyperior is super low, and even if I lose switch advantage here, Metagross can take care of the Rhyperior and any potential Togekisses in the back. So that's my logic. At this point though, I'm just going to spam as many Body Slams as possible. I should have built up to an Outrage. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget. I was still, oh actually I might have built up to an Outrage there, because looking at my energy, and then the fact that they shielded, so I might have done it. Too busy looking at the camera. Gameplay moving too fast. Getting used to it, guys. I apologize. But I do get to another Body Slam here, and I got their shield. So it's pretty huge, and I know Metagross could definitely handle the Rhyperior if need be, and the Togekiss in this situation because I have my 2 shields, even though I've lost switch advantage, but they only have 1 shield. So I bring in the Metagross to attempt to farm down and see if they'll throw their energy too quickly. I don't remember what I decided to do here. I do decide to shield because I'm getting concerned with how much energy they have. I end up shielding a Dragon Claw, which is frustrating, and then I want to commit to the farm down. But now I'm worried they have a bunch of extra energy, so I commit both of my shields here, which is not the play. I can't read Dragon Breaths, but they do swap into their Togekiss here, and I'm like, oh, great, by all means, do that. I will charge up 2 Meteor Mashes, so I'm obviously not going to bring Garchomp into this, and this will either get the shield or take it out. I get the shield, but I'm right at another one, and I don't think they knew where my energy was at, so this is karma for those 2 Dragon Claws you chucked at me, and this Meteor Mash will take out the Togekiss, and the Rhyperior is super low. I bring in my Garchomp to land the Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb ends up being super effective. It should be enough damage to take out the Rhyperior's remaining health. It does, which is great. Dragonite comes in, Dragon Breaths me down, but it's so low that my next Bullet Punches, I think that was 2 actually, will take out the Dragonite, and they definitely threw their energy, so I didn't have to worry there. Getting into the 4th match of the set, we're going up against Proto Beyond. And we got a Garchomp on a Metagross lead. Now, the only real positive lead that I feel great about is a Garchomp on a Magnezone lead, because that Metagross lead, as much as I have type advantage, Sand Tomb is not like a one-hit KO type move. They switch into Snorlax here. I throw the Sand Tomb on it because I want to give my Snorlax the advantage. I run into that a lot. Snorlaxes and Gyarados seem to be like the top two. And Dragonites, funny enough, because you run into a Charmer, that Dragonite's really not a safe swap. But Snorlax and Gyarados seem to be like the top two safe swaps in Premier Cup, which again make the most sense considering Snorlax's bulkiness and Gyarados is just like diversity in the meta. At this point, we're just going to spam some body slams. I made sure to debuff, so I already know I can get their Snorlax low. They can overcharge as much as they like. If they want to throw two superpowers, I know for a fact I'm going to survive both of them because I've played out the situation more times than I could probably count. Either way, they're getting to their first charge move here. This is definitely a superpower. Does a good chunk. Because of the debuff though, as much as it did that good chunk, the next one's not going to do as good of a chunk. So I don't shield it. I survive with enough health. They can't lick me down. They pull off a really nice swap there and go into the Metagross real quick to try and catch me lacking so they can bullet punch down. I get back into my Garchomp here. I'm going to throw as many Sand Tombs as possible because I swap pretty quick too. And I'm expecting the Meteor Mash right here, which makes sense. I'm going to shield it because it would get me too low and then they'd be able to bullet punch me down. That's the last thing I want. So now I'm getting to my next Sand Tomb here. This will either get their first shields or get them low enough where I can farm them down. It gets them low enough so I can farm them down, but I am concerned because now I'm at a shield disadvantage. The Snorlax is practically dead, but now I gotta play around with this Dragonite. And I was gonna go for the Outrage. I changed my mind last second to bait. I was really hoping I could lower the defense and get the shield at the same time. And so we get a little bit of lag, and I should have thrown the Outrage. I should have thrown the Outrage. I should have just thrown the Outrage. I would have won this match. I didn't throw the Outrage. So it's my fault trying to bait and get fancy. And that's going to end up costing me the match. So very, I can think of one word I can use here. It's not very appropriate. Very courageous move on their part. It wasn't negative at them. It was great play on their part. I digress. Anyhow, a really great move and a very courageous move on their part. And it ends up, you know what? They deserved it. They made that play. They deserve to win this match. They're going to, because I'm not going to be able to get to my next Meteor Mash before they can Dragon Claw me down. I shield this though, because I'm hoping that maybe they won't be able to Dragon Breath me down, but they had two Dragon Claws. Because again, I can't read Dragon Breath energy. So using that shield wasn't, maybe not my brightest situation. I was going to have to use it either way. I go back in the Garchomp and I just get Dragon Breath down. Yeah, no, I had to use a shield there because Snorlax is literally at 1 HP. And if I just would have outraged Dragonite, I could have won that match. Alright, getting to this fifth and final match, we got a real spicy one. We're going up against a rank 10 trainer, so we already know it's going to be highly skilled. But it looks like he's having a little bit of fun at rank 10 too, which I don't blame him. I want to be there so I can start spicing things up. They got Shadow Snorlax. You might be able to guess what the rest of this team is going to look like, but I won't spoil it. Either way, I don't know in the beginning what the rest of this team is going to look like, so I'm just going for the outrages. That one lands, does a solid chunk of damage. Most of the time, Snorlaxes don't shield the first charge move, even Shadow Snorlaxes, because they can take their hits. These Licks and Body Slams, though, are doing a good chunk of damage to me, so I'm just hoping that I can get to this Outrage first, but I know I can't. They get to the Body Slam, we CMP tie, I have to shield this, because it'll get me too low, and I want to try and win switch advantage, and I'm only getting to the Sand Tomb here, so what I'm hoping is, because it's a Shadow, is that it'll do enough damage where I can then farm down after. That lands, it looks like it's in farm range, a mud shot and a mud shot and a mud shotting. I get it down, but I'm at a shield disadvantage here. And just being at a shield disadvantage in Premier Cup almost cost me because they brought in a Shadow Dragonite. And that Dragon Breath damage got me to 1 HP. I get the shield this time luckily, and I drop the defense. My one play is to bring in the Metagross here because it'll do better against the Dragonite. They swap into a Metagross of their own, and that's also a Shadow Pokemon. At this point, I just want to give them the win because I love the spice on the team, and I'm trying to figure out what my play is here. I go immediately for the Earthquake because this will either one-hit KO the Metagross, or it'll get the last shield, which it does, and then I'll go into my own Snorlax, but I think we see CMP tied here, and I was too worried that it'll be an Earthquake. ends up being a meteor mash. I get baited, which is a pretty big change in this match. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to overcharge a little bit, and now I'm going to go into Snorlax. I'm going to make Snorlax absorb all of Metagross's damage, and I'm going to hope that I can essentially just take the Metagross down and get a little bit of extra energy to deal with the Dragonite. I think that was my logic. I don't know. I might have brought in Snorlax at a weird time, because it seems like a weird time at this point. This Body Slam's not going to be enough. It'll get it low where I can try and lick it down, but then they swap and make the really smart play. That ended up being also an issue. The fact that I swapped late, our switch timers were out of whack, and as much as I'm getting to this Body Slam here, the Dragonite's going to be able to Dragon Breath me down, like he just did. Metagross's health is not exactly high enough, because watch what the charge move ends up being. Ends up being a Hurricane, and from a Shadow Dragonite, that does more than I prefer. I do get to this Meteor Mash, which will take out the Dragonite, but their Metagross has enough health, not a lot, but enough health to bullet punch my Metagross down before I could bullet punch theirs. And that ended up being GG. That was a great match. It was exciting to see that kind of spice. I wish I had 3 Shadow Pokemon like that one. So unfortunately, we go 2 and 3 in this set. We're going to go check my ranking real quick, and then we're going to click, and I end up losing 10 points for this 2 and 3, which honestly, I'm okay with, considering it was a 2 and 3, because I've had worse situations where I've gone 3 and 2 and gained no points, and also a 3 and 2 where I lost 2 points. I also had 2 and 3 where I lost 20 points, and I understand it's the matchmaking system, and however you do in the set, the points get affected based on who you get matched with, but it's just frustrating when like you think you've had a positive set and you end up not getting anything positive out of it, especially when you're clawing and fighting to get to rank 10. Other than that, let me know what you thought of the matches. Let me know how you felt about me talking over the sped up clips. I really would appreciate feedback on it. If you like it, if it doesn't make a difference to you, please let me know in the comment section so I can know going forward if this is something I should really try to adapt to, or if you're okay with me going with the regular sped clips. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.